Hi everyone, DeFi Sai here from the BOI 100 Club. As part of my role in the BOI 100 Club and also Avalanche Team 1, I'm going to be making it my mission to help educate and onboard people to both BOI and also to Avalanche ecosystem and to crypto as a whole. My name is DeFi Sai. I make a whole bunch of content all around the Avalanche ecosystem, also around BOI the Bear. So do jump on, like and subscribe, follow on all the channels that are coming up at the top now, and I will keep you updated on everything that's going on. So let's jump in and see where we are up to with BOI the Bear. So in today's video, I want to take a look at where we're up to with BOI and all the pre-sale allocations, etc. All the decisions have now been sent out, so you should know your fate. If you don't know, then either check on the arena, look at your notifications on there, or go to boithebear.com and link your X account and see what your decision is. Now, there was an awesome Spaces earlier on today or late yesterday, depending on what time zone you're in, and it was the AVAX Talk Spaces, which is hosted by Naldo and Alonso, and it's always an awesome listen, and this episode of the Janitor of BOI the Bear CEO on. So it's a great listen, and I'm going to pop a link to that in the comments, etc., so you can find that and have a good listen to it. Now, as things have been developing during the day, I wanted to put together a bit of an update so you can all be up to date on where we're up to with BOI the Bear and the pre-sale. So first up, let's have a quick recap over the process and what happened with the applications. All in all, 154,000 people linked their X account to the BOI website. All applications were then submitted. Out of these, 51,000 people had completed the full pre-sale application with all of the required information. There was then a pre-screening, which was removing duplicates, etc., which left 37,000 applicants, which were then distributed amongst 100 BOI Club members. So you've heard a lot of talk about the BOI Club. Now, what is the BOI Club? The BOI Club was initially 35 members that were hand-selected by CEO. These 35 members then put forward 5 members each, who were then personally checked by CEO for the suitability of their inclusion. These 100 people were then responsible for going through all the applications, and this was done in a very special way. So instead of these 37,000 applications being distributed evenly with 370 per member, this was doubled up, meaning that each application was checked by 2 members of the BOI Club to ensure that it was the correct decision. The amount of applicants selected in this way, i.e. by having 2 BOI Club members, both select the same person, was 287. This meant that these 287 people have both been selected by BOI Club members, so the remaining 900 whitelist spots were chosen from the pool of remaining applicants who had been selected by only 1 BOI Club member. And also, there was a pool of applicants members of the BOI Club has marked as shortlisted. Now, these 2 groups of applicants were meticulously evaluated by CEO and members of his team, meaning they could get a successful allocation. Each successful allocation that was chosen by the BOI Club was also checked multiple times by the BOI team and by CEO, all to ensure the process was 100% fair. Now, a really important point to note is that if CEO found any evidence of careless selections by a member of the BOI Club, then that individual's whole list was completely personally evaluated by CEO to make sure nothing and no one was missed or wrongly evaluated. Now, at this early stage, the Jeet allocation list was not provided to the BOI Club members. This is because this list was built separately by analysing actual market behaviour. It was based on people who had dumped all their allocations with the first 20 minutes after launch in recent major projects, people who had publicly footed BOI, or people who had openly revealed selfish plans during any space or stage discussion. So to ensure fairness for those who were included on the Jeet list, anyone that believes they're unfairly treated or judged, CEO is personally reviewing every individual that's assigned a Jeet tier. Now, if any mistake is found, it will be corrected. And to prove this, a few cases have already been resolved in this way. So CEO has said that the goal here is not to reduce people's AVAX contribution by labelling them with a Jeet tag. The goal is to make sure they are accurately labelled under the correct tier and allocation, and whether they choose to participate or not is entirely up to them. His responsibility is to correct what needs correction. Looking at the application process, how was this judged by the BOI Club? So the process was judged at application stage, where you could submit the following: a wallet address, a section where you could write about you to support your application, you would link to your X account, and also your points. These were the points that were accrued for creating and engaging with BOI the Bear content. And this is what the BOI Club were looking at when A, deciding whether to approve or denying it, and also B, deciding what tier to allocate to each applicant. Another important point to note is that no member of the BOI Club will have reviewed the application of anyone that they were following or close to on X, etc. So this was again to ensure total fairness and objectivity from each team member when reviewing these applications. Now, I've spent a lot of time obviously speaking with the other BOI Club members, both in Discord chats, etc., on the various stages, etc., and there's been a lot of discussion as everyone's been working and judging in a very similar way. It's come to light that the important things that people were looking for were your engagement. Had you engaged with BOI content? Had you created content? Had you shared content? Was this content unique? Now, the PowerPoints were used, it seems, more as a guide. So it wasn't about farming, tagging, buying pointless content, using bots, etc. in order to gain massive PowerPoints. It was about the quality of your content and your engagement. Your account size wasn't super important. It was about your quality. Also, the quality of your about you. Did you write anything here? Did you put a bit of your personality into it? Or did you use AI and not even to bother to fill the blanks in? Did you even write anything in this section? Did you put some effort in, and did you make a real effort to get yourself across in this section? Now, I know one big thing for me personally when I was doing them, there's something that came down to that's very important, was that all important effort. How much effort did you put into your content? How much effort did you put into your about was? This was super telling, and it really shone through. Some people really put themselves out there here. They tried something, they created something, and they went the extra mile. For me, this was a super positive sign when reviewing the applications. Even if you had a really small amount of followers, but you tried super hard, you engaged, you created, and you put a lot of effort in, even if you just put in dedicated, detailed replies to people, this was positive for your application. The BOI Club also had to recommend the tier size that would be allocated to each applicant. So the tiers that we know now are small, 10 AVAX, medium, 30 AVAX, big, 60 AVAX. Diamond Club, the BOI Club, is 100 AVAX, and another special tier that was for the Jeeters. Now, there's been a lot of discussion about this tier as people were added to this tier. We spoke about it earlier, even though they feel that they're not Jeeted. Now, just to reiterate, this tier wasn't solely limited to people who were Jeeted or previous pre-sales, but maybe people that had a good application but been negative about the project, etc., been saying bad things on social media. So, just to reiterate again, CEO is going to personally review all of these just to make sure that everything is right. Now, one other important point to remember is that this tier might well have given some of these people a chance to get the pre-sale that maybe without this tier they wouldn't have even got any allocation. So this is something pretty unique to BOI, that these people are still being given an allocation, but this allocation did come with a catch. Anyone in the Jeet tier is going to be paying for their BOI tokens, but they're going to be paying at a higher level than the other tier. More on the levels later on. Now, one super important point to remember for the allocation is that you will have to send the full amount, no more, no less, or the contracts will reject the send. Now, we have said that we're going to possibly be looking at some kind of mechanism if there's anyone out there that cannot afford the full allocation. So one note is, do not try and sell your allocation or offer it out on Twitter, etc. like that. Just hang fire and just be patient, and hopefully a mechanism will be coming in place for you, because it is understood that some people might not be able to meet their full allocation. So let's jump in and have a quick look at some more details that you might not know about BOI. So, quick one. Who are the BOI team? So the BOI team, some information about the core team. Now, it's a team that's been put together by CEO, and it's a small surgical team that's been building in Web3 for years. What is the roadmap for the project? So the plan is to make BOI the home of creating great products in Web3. So BOI is going to be producing whatever is needed on Web3 and whenever it is needed and for a reasonable price and time frame. They're going to monetize this by offering it out to other Web3 and wider projects. So if you think of like the gift generator, that's a product that's come from CEO wanting a Web3 product that wasn't available. What happened was this project was developed, especially for and put in use for BOI, and is now already a great product that now can potentially be used by other Web3 projects. So again, it's a product created by BOI that's got a use case across Web3, and it's going to be good because lots of other products are already in the pipeline, such as this one game in development, which should be ready in a month. And BOI the Bear is going to be launching with 4 working products within a max of 6 days. And we already have the meme generator, the gift generator, and more to come. Also, there's going to be a raffle for people that missed the allocation. Now, this is going to be hosted again on a custom-built raffle platform that has been built specifically for BOI, and this can be yet another product that will be available for other projects going forward. What will the revenue from these products be used for? Now, it's going to be distributed in the following way. The income from all these products is going to be distributed to players of the games, etc. are going to get 20%. BOI the project is going to get 30%, and the BOI Club 50%. So you can see that BOI is being developed now as a brand, and this brand has got the potential to be at least a $10 million per year ecosystem after launch. So you can see that this project's in there. So if BOI is growing as a brand, what does BOI actually mean? Now, we have found out that BOI stands for Base of Innovation, which I think is pretty cool. With a brand like this, let's look at marketing. We've found out, does all this require massive sums paid out in marketing budgets? The answer is no. There's no influencers, there's no influence being paid, there's no big whales involved, and CEO has actually stated that he's the biggest whale and he doesn't need any more. Pretty bullish. Now, we also know that there's going to be some big things coming soon, so I think airdrops and rewards-based events, and the cool part is these are going to be based on something that can't be bought. They're going to be based on people's time that they have put into the projects. So this is probably not finance advice. You're assigned to keep engaging, keep creating the unique content. Whether you've got a pre-sale allocation or not, keep doing that BOI the Bear content and keep engaged. How is this all going to work? Now, what we do know is the BOI Club are going to be acting like a board of directors. As a member of the BOI Club, we're going to be looking and hunting for all the talent, looking for the people that are going to be useful for BOI and are going to be the people that are going to be creating and building these amazing products that BOI is going to be shipping. So this is an opportunity for anyone in the space that feels like they've not been heard, feels like they have skills and talents. These people can connect with the BOI Club and can be heard by us. We can then pass the information on. Now, the BOI Club is going to be looking at you and searching for this talent. There is also going to be functionality added to the website soon where you can submit your work, your CV, etc. on the boithebear.com website. So stay tuned for that coming. Now, on to some super important details. When launch. Now, we do know that the launch is going to be on LFJ and it should be within a week. So get ready. Get your AVAX in your wallet and get ready to get in at launch, whether you've got the pre-sale and you want to buy more or you've not got the pre-sale and you want to buy at launch. I will be doing some tutorial videos about this, also how to get in at launch with your slipping settings, etc. because it's always crazy. So do jump on, like and subscribe to YouTube coming up there, follow on all the channels to stay up to date on that. We do also know that once the arena launch their decks, which is coming soon, a percentage of the LP is going to be moving from LFJ and going to be moving over there. We're also going to be moving a percentage of the LP going over to Pharaoh, but a minimum of 20% will stay on LFJ. One big question that also always comes in is when are we going to be going on to a centralized exchange or a SEX? Now, CEO has said there's been discussion with various SEXs such as Gate.io, MEXC and OKX. Now, what CEO is saying is that he is aiming for BOI to be in the Champions League and we will only be committing to SEXs when the time comes, which I think is the right way to do it. What are the all-important tokenomics of the project? There's going to be a 1 billion total supply of BOI and 10% is going for the founder and team, 5% used for marketing, and 2.5% of this has been earmarked for a strategy that BOI is not disclosing yet. Now, there's no saying what the strategy is, so stay tuned for that. As I said, 5% marketing, 65% is going to be sold in the pre-sale, and 20% is going for sale on the open market at launch. The pre-sale price is going to be $0.001 of a dollar, which is great to hear. There will also be strict security measures at launch to ensure a fair launch. What CEO has said is that lessons have been launched from previous pre-sales. BOI has observed these, and if anyone tries to snipe BOI, they are going to be sniped. We have heard that there's going to be a never before seen system that's being built that cannot be sniped, and this is going to be implemented at launch, which I'm super excited to see and find out how that works. The TLDR in all this is that BOI will not be prey for the traders. Also, BOI is going to be verified immediately on LFJ and launch should be within the week. With regards to the pre-sale, the amount raised has been capped at a very specific $1 million. This is what's going to be raised from the pre-sale. Now, CEO has taken advice from serious top financial people saying that that should be the limit for the pre-sale allocations and that's what it's going to be capped at. Just as a little reminder of what those tiers are. A small tier is 10 AVAX, a medium is 30 AVAX, a big is 60 AVAX, a BOI Club is 100 AVAX, and the Jeet is 100 AVAX. But as we've said, the Jeet tier will be more expensive than that $0.001 of a dollar. Now, we've got no confirmation of this price yet, but it will be considerably more than the pre-sale price of $0.001, so stay tuned for that. Again, just running through what the long-term plans are for sustainability for BOI, etc. I did touch on this, but again, I just want to reiterate to this because it's a super important part of any project and what is going to ensure its long-term success. Now again, BOI is going to be somewhere that everyone is going to eventually go for these Web3 based products and services. We're going to have services and products that everyone is going to want to use, need to use, and again, it's going to be a place where talented people can congregate and create these products. So that's the roundup of where BOI is heading. Now, I just want to finish with some wise words for CEO and his advice for anyone who's outside of the pre-sale. His advice, if you're outside the pre-sale, is to buy at launch. The advice is not to feel bad that you didn't get a pre-sale, just witness what we're building. Do your due diligence, and if you want to wait and see what we're building, then that is fine. So that's where we're up to. What do you think about the plans for the future? How are you thinking about it? Let me know in the comments. I'm super interested to hear people's thoughts. I am part of the BOI 100, so as I've said, I will be dropping much more content, also some educational content. I've set up a dedicated BOI playlist up on my YouTube, so jump on and like that, like and subscribe. I'll add the link in the comments, etc. It might be popping up on the video now if you're watching YouTube. Do stay tuned for some educational content about things that are about how to get your AVAX into your wallet, how to buy at launch with the slippage settings, etc. because it's always crazy at launch. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Peace out and good vibes.